This video will cover this week's daily race C, which runs from January 5th until January 11th, 2026. Each race has 11 laps with 16 Group 3 cars. Fuel consumption is set at 3 times, and the tire wear is set at 4 times. The available tires are racing hard, racing mediums, intermediate, and full wets. It is required that everyone use the racing hard and racing medium tires. Normally when 2 tires are required, pit stops are generally done close to halfway through the race, but this does not apply here. I will cover this later in the video. While any of the 51 Group 3 cars can be used, when looking at the top 100 qualifying times, about 80 of these times were achieved using the Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept 2018. 11 other cars were used for a top 100 time, but none by more than 4 drivers. Before watching the demonstration lap, I believe that it is important to emphasize how critical it is to use as much of the track as possible. To do that, you can slowly drive the car of your choice so that the tires are right next to the edge of the track and then stop. Change the view to the one that you use during the races and note how the car relates to the edge of the track. These images are for the Toyota and show the 4 primary cameras: bumper, hood, chase, and cockpit. This will help you judge better how to place your car at the entrance, apex, and exit of turns. Now I will show you the demonstration lap using the Toyota. The primary view is the bumper cam, but there are inserts with the cockpit cam showing the wheel movement and the chase cam. As you approach turn 1, you'll want to position your car so your right tires are on the right edge of the track. Braking point is the 50 board. Downshift into 4th gear and trail brake into the turn. This is a high-speed turn. When the short street light near the building gets to the right side of the screen, start your turn. You should be braking at about 40%. Try to maintain about 115 miles per hour. When the street light hits the overhead billboard, upshift to 5th gear and start accelerating. Getting a good exit will save you a lot of time between turns 1 and 2, which is the second longest straight. Turns 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be addressed together because they flow one to another. As you approach this combination of turns, you'll want to make sure that your left tires are on the left edge of the track to set up your turn into turn two. The braking point is the start of the curb. Downshift to third gear. If you're having a problem making a turn, adjust this to be a little earlier, like when the yellow crane on the right hits the right side of the screen. Just before the 50 board, you'll want to start turning into the turn. Downshift into second gear and then first gear just before the apex of the turn. At the apex, you should have your right tires on or slightly inside the red and yellow curb and be at about 60 miles per hour while still braking at about 25%. When you get about halfway between turn 2 and 3, upshift to second gear and start accelerating. You may need to feather your acceleration to keep from missing the next turn. At the apex, you should have your right tires on or slightly inside the red and yellow curb and be at about 63 to 65 miles per hour. When the red and white barrier hits the left edge of the screen, short shift to third gear and start accelerating. You will cut this apex much more aggressively than the previous two, with your left tires being either on the red and yellow curb or just on the track. Try to get as close to 80 miles per hour as possible. Through this turn, stay as close as possible to the left curb. The top drivers either short shift to fourth gear to prevent understeer or rev out third gear. If you choose to stay in third gear longer, be careful not to hit the wall at the exit of turn 5. As you approach turn 6, you'll want to make sure that your left tires are on the left edge of the track to set up your turn. Braking point is the start of the arrows on the wall. Downshift to third and trail brake into the turn. As you reach the right turn traffic sign, start your turn. When the merge traffic sign attached to the street light is directly ahead, upshift to fourth gear and begin accelerating. Try to maintain 100 miles an hour. You should try to be at the left edge of the track where the wall changes and starts sloping downwards. A good exit is important so you can carry more speed through a series of high speed curves that lead up to the hairpin at turn 11. As you approach turn 11, you'll want to make sure that your left tires are on the left edge of the track to set up your turn. Braking point is the support column on the left after the 150 board. Downshift to third. When you reach the curb on the left, start turning into the turn. Downshift to second, and then first when the curb ends. Try to get your speed down to 40 miles per hour when you get to the beginning of the hairpin so that you can release the brakes for better rotation. When you reach the apex of the turn, upshift to second gear. There is a street light at the pit entrance. When the next street light is visible, start accelerating. On the exit of the turn, you may have to lift a little to prevent hitting the wall, but that is preferable to losing time that happens when you hit a wall. As you approach turn 13, you want to make sure that your left tires are on the left edge of the track to set up your turn. If this was important before, it is more so now. The next 4 turns will require limited braking, and extending the curve will allow you to carry more speed. When you reach the lights that are located halfway up the wall, lift off the accelerator and start your turn. Try to maintain 120 miles per hour. When the vertical band of lights on the building ahead clears the curve, begin accelerating. After turn 13, aim for the apex of turn 14. Just before the apex, you will need to lift shortly to aid rotation before getting back on the accelerator. Try to maintain 125 miles an hour. After turn 14, aim directly at the apex of turn 15. As soon as you straighten up, lift off the accelerator but stay in fourth gear. When the building that is to your right fully appears on the screen, start accelerating. After the turn, aim for the 50 board to prepare for turn 16, the final turn of the lap. Just before the 50 board, shortly apply the brakes to 75%, downshift to third gear, and start your turn. Try to maintain 90 miles an hour. When the street light at the corner of the Gran Turismo building clears the corner, Upshift to fourth gear and start accelerating. Be careful not to hit the wall, but if that's a concern, a slight lift is better than ruining your lap. The rest of the lap is flat out. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that the pit strategy for this race does not follow the typical pattern of changing tires near the midpoint of the race. That is because either of the tires could last all 11 laps, but both the racing hard and racing mediums must be used. Since racing mediums result in faster laps, they are used for almost the entire race. The two tire strategies are to start on racing hard and pitting halfway through the first lap to change tires to the racing mediums, or start on racing mediums and pitting halfway through the last lap to change the tires to racing hards. I believe that the best strategy is to start on racing mediums, as that results in the shortest use of racing hard tires. Currently, the best qualifying time is 1 minute 55.355 seconds. Using the standards in lap time challenges, this makes the classification for a gold time to be under 1 minute 58.815 seconds, a silver time to be under 2 minutes 1.122 seconds, and a bronze time to be under 2 minutes 6.89 seconds. I wish you success in your races this week and hope that you can improve your driving rating. If you found this video to be informative and helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I hope that I'll see you again soon. Thanks.